questions about our kids and their ages, and people want to know more about them individually. So we decided we would make a video introducing each of our kids, talk a little bit about them and their interests and their story. And we decided to go in age order, so we started with Jude. Jude, how old are you? Yes, he's 3 years old.
Yeah.
You're 3. Yeah. Good job.
So Jude came home to us in November of 2015.
What Eve?
You want some more of the roll? Okay. You want to sit here? Okay, sit down. So Jude came home to our family in November of 2015. Right now it's summer of 2016, so he's been home about 8 months.
Yep.
And
Jude, well, should we talk about how we found Jude and stuff?
yeah.
So we had back in, was it January?
December of 2013.
Not 13, 14. 'Cause that's when we
Oh,
moved
you're
here.
right, 14.
So December of 2014, we started to think about adopting again because we had already adopted Esther and Pearl, who you'll see their videos a little bit later. But we started thinking about that. We got connected with an agency, and we started getting their emails that show the children that are available. And in January of 2015, yeah, they sent us Jude's picture. And
what they did, so I'm going to
ahead.
take us back a little bit. In December, when we decided maybe we were ready to adopt again, we were real iffy on that, but I went ahead and went on CCAI's website, that's the agency we used on his adoption, and filled out a questionnaire and essentially said what we were willing to adopt and what we were open to, which is really hard to do because you have to say like yes or no, and you almost feel like you feel a little guilty, but it has to be done. And so you're kind of saying what special needs you're open to adopting, because most of the kids coming out of China right now are going to have some sort of medical need or special need. So we did that in December, and honestly kind of forgot about it. And then
because the holidays happened.
Yeah, and also we were like, maybe we're not ready to adopt.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, we got an email or a call from CCAI saying we have a file that matches, your requirements, which was like 3 weeks later. Are you interested in looking at it? Which was terrifying, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't remember, honestly.
Oh, I do. So they emailed it to us. We opened it up, saw Jude's picture. He was obviously adorable, but he had a special need I didn't know anything about and was honestly kind of terrified of. But Mike, you felt right away.
Yeah, so I remember I was at the grocery store, and I think you either texted me his picture or emailed it. I think you texted it to me. And I like remember standing there in the aisle looking at my phone and just feeling like, okay, this is...
You immediately felt...
Yeah, this is our son.
Which is not that's unlike Mike. At that point, I think you were less interested in adopting again than I was.
Yeah, it was.
And so when he said that, I was a little surprised, but also very pleased that he was having such a quick connection and really answer as to whether or not this was our son. I was more scared because of his special need, but we both felt like it was the right thing to do.
Well, and we should probably say just what his special need is. It basically his colon is deformed. So it was nothing that affected how he walked or anything like that, or how he looked. But he had a deformed colon, which affected how everything moves through you. So
and we knew that for the rest of his life, we or he might have to have daily enemas and a bowel management program, which was terrifying to me because I looked it up, and moms were saying, it takes about an hour each day to give him his enema. That sounded terrifying to me, and I felt a little beyond the scope of what I could do, but we felt that was the right thing. We moved forward.
Yeah.
So then fast forward about 9 months later, 10 months later, 11 months later, and we were in China. When we picked Jude up, he was not happy.
No, Jude was a sad little boy.
He was very sad, and his stomach was huge and bloated when we picked him up. Picked him up around 10 in the morning, noon or so. Brought him home, gave him some food, which perked him up a little bit, and then he started throwing up all over the place in our hotel room. Luckily, he had a nurse from his orphanage that came out that night on her own time and brought another nurse with her, and she helped us give him an enema. That was our first time seeing an enema, knowing anything about it, and it was terrifying for me.
And gross.
It was gross, terrifying. We did it on the bathroom floor of our hotel room. And we recorded it with our video camera or our phones so that we could watch it again if we wanted the details.
Yeah.
But from that day on until, for the next 6 months or so, we gave him daily enemas.
Well, we did twice for a while there.
Oh, 2 enemas a day.
Remember, one in the morning and one in the evening.
Yeah, and about a week in, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, we got used to it. Kind of got used to the grossness of it, and also we got better at it. So
Yeah. He continued to be a little bit sick because if he ate too much and we didn't do a good enough enema, then he couldn't move the food through and he would throw it up. Anyways, that's what he was dealing with. We came home through a lot of tests and stuff. We actually were able to resolve that issue, and Jude is able to take care of himself now. He doesn't need daily enemas. He just needs fiber and.
He wears a diaper still. We're working on getting him potty trained.
But he will be potty trained.
But basically, what happened was, in China, they did operate on him a couple times, and after we took him to a specialist here in the States,
Okay.
after we took him to a specialist here in the States, they realized that they had actually fixed it.
Without knowing. They thought they had it.
They thought they hadn't. I'm not sure why they were still doing the enemas, but it wasn't really what he needed. And so they said, okay, let's stop with the enemas and let's just try with fiber and some laxatives. And the test, we tried it for like a week, and he was able to do what he needed to do. And so at this point, it's just, he has to learn a few things about.
I mean, he's only been in diapers now for 3 or 4 months.
Well, like this in diapers. Before it was enemas. But,
so he's just now for the first time in his life
actually going to the bathroom on a toilet.
And so we're not, he is 3.5, which typically a child would potty train, but we're not in too big of a hurry because we know he's a little behind on that.
Yeah.
Behind.
Behind. Gross.
So, anyhow, Jude was very quiet when he came home and was obviously not very physically active. He was very thin and small. And as he started to eat, he started to put on weight, but he also started to open up and be happy. He loves to eat. We always joke about how he's the slowest eater ever. But at first he was scared of lots of things. And he would try to jump, like 2 inches off the ground. It was difficult for him.
Oh, and it was also really exciting to do that.
But yeah, it was really exciting, like he was doing something really daring.
Hey, let's not jump while we're eating, okay? Let's not do that.
Yeah, just sit down and eat your bananas.
And then you can jump after
Kids
you're done
are
eating.
bananas on the trampoline.
Okay.
So then, over the last, 9 months, he's really come out of his shell. He's very sweet. He's very fun, and all of the kids adore him as the youngest. He loves all things boys. He loves to play with trucks and cars and play in the sand, run around. He is very sweet-natured.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not difficult at all. He sleeps through the night and always has. He's easy to go to bed. I mean, obviously he's only 3 years old, so we can't tell you too many things. But I think mainly when people think of adopting, they think it's going to be a child who's so distraught and so disturbed and won't sleep at night and won't let you. But Jude has been so easy to love and easy to parent.
Yeah, and he's just gotten so much more what you expect to have a little 3-year-old. So,
And he's a huge blessing to our family. I think back on how terrified I was to adopt him and to have this medical need. And the joy that he brings to our families is equally proportionate to that terror. I mean, he's such a blessing, and everybody loves him, everybody. And he and Eve are now best buds and run around everywhere together.
They're frenemies.
They're frenemies.
Sometimes they're best pals, and sometimes they're worst enemies. But
mostly
friends.
He's a great kid, and everywhere we go, people stop us and tell us how cute he is. He's a handsome little guy. But
yeah.
So that's Jude. Jude is from what province?
Hubei? No, that was...
Yeah, Hunan, which is spelled Henan. He's from Kaifeng. Is that right?
Kaifeng?
No, he's from the city right next door. Pearl is from Kaifeng. Where is he from? Nanchang?
No, that was Esther.
Well, he's from the
we
Henan
can't keep
province,
track of all these Chinese cities.
No, so, and he was well taken care of in China. He had,
as well as they could have with what they had.
Well, and there was a Christian organization that was donating to his orphanage so that he could have more medical care, which was a lifesaver for him. He was brought to the orphanage when he was about a month old, having already had a surgery done that had failed. And so we know that his parents are somewhere and loved their boy, but probably felt overwhelmed either financially by his medical condition or in some other way felt not up to the challenge. And maybe someday he'll meet his parents and they'll be happy to know that he's loved and a part of a family and healthy. And definitely always, there is always a tragic side to adoption, knowing that, or loss is always a part of adoption. And we know that, and their kids know that, and we help them navigate that. With Jude, obviously, because he was abandoned so young and adopted so young, it will be a little different than our older kids. So we'll talk about that in their videos.
Yeah, so
that's Jude. He's a cutie. We're lucky to be his mom and dad.
we are.
Totally. He's a blessing. Alright, check out our other videos tomorrow, and for the next 8 days we'll be posting a video each day about each one of our kids, so watch out for those. And
Do we get to post a video about us?
Yeah,
Can
and
you do a
about
video
ourselves.
on me?
Yes,
Just
definitely.
About me? Okay, get out of here. Hi.
Alright, so see you tomorrow.